His weathered hands touched engine parts with deliberate care, never rushing. Customers thought he was slow, until he found the explosive device and defused it in minutes. Before we begin this powerful story of hidden expertise, quiet service, and life-saving skills, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today, and if you believe stories like this need to be remembered, hit that subscribe button and help us make sure they are. Murphy's Auto Repair had stood on Chicago's South Side since the 1970s. The sign was faded, paint peeling, but business never slowed. The neighborhood knew this place, trusted it. And the garage's quietest worker was an old man everyone simply called Hayes. He arrived every morning at exactly 7:30 a.m. Never late, never early. He wore the same blue coveralls, pulled out his thermos of black coffee, and began another long day. He never listened to the radio, rarely talked to the other workers. He just focused on the cars, every one, every problem, every detail. The young mechanics at the garage knew him by sight. Especially Tommy Rodriguez, 24 years old, who'd been working there for 2 years. He and the other workers always saw the old man in the same place, under a hood, working quietly, never rushing. "Why's this guy so slow?" Tommy had asked the owner, Mike Murphy, once. "He's not slow, he's careful, and he knows his business." That was exactly right. The old man did every job perfectly, but never hurried. He touched engine parts with such deliberate care, as if every bolt, every gasket had something to tell him. One morning Tommy's curiosity got the better of him and he approached the old man. "Good morning," he said with a friendly smile. The old man slid out from under the car. His face showed the wear of decades, but his eyes were sharp and alert. "Morning, son," he replied in a low voice. "How long have you been working here?" "Long time. You're very careful with the cars." The old man wiped his hands on a shop rag. "Everything deserves respect." That was it. No more conversation. Tommy nodded understandingly and went back to his work. The old man slid back under the car as if nothing had happened. Over the following months, Tommy began watching him more closely. There was something different about the man's work methods. For instance, he never touched any part without examining it first. His hands made very precise movements, like a surgeon. And he never made the same mistake twice. "Mike," Tommy said to his boss one day, "what do you know about this guy?" "Not much. Came in 5 years ago, asked for work, does perfect jobs." "Do you know where he came from?" Mike shrugged. "Didn't ask. He does his work, doesn't cause trouble." That's enough. But Tommy's curiosity was growing. There was something different about the old man, his way of moving, his approach to engine parts, his need to control everything. He started paying closer attention to Hayes. The man's hands, old but very strong, fingers sensitive but decisive. How he organized his workstation, every tool in its place, systematic, with military precision. And his eyes, constantly scanning his surroundings, listening to every sound. One day, while the old man was sitting during his coffee break, Tommy noticed a faint tattoo on his arm. He couldn't make out exactly what it was, but it looked like some kind of military symbol. "Hey," he thought to himself, "maybe this guy is former military." That evening at home, he kept thinking about it. Sitting in his small house in Little Village, drinking a Corona while watching the Cubs game, his mind was still on the old man. Who could he be? Why did he work so carefully and systematically? He would learn the answer on that tense day. Wednesday morning, at exactly 9:45 a.m., a suspicious customer came to the garage. A nervous-looking middle-aged man named Carlos Mendez. He said his car was making strange noises and needed immediate attention. Tommy looked at the car, a 2015 Honda Civic, looked normal from the outside. But Carlos seemed very nervous, constantly looking around, in a hurry. "What kind of noise?" Tommy asked. "From the trunk. Like ticking." Tommy's heart picked up a little. Ticking sounds usually weren't good. "Let me check it out," he said and took the keys. He pulled the car into the garage. When he opened the hood, the engine looked normal. But he didn't dare open the trunk. What if there really was a problem? He noticed the old man approaching him. "Problem?" the old man asked. "Customer says there's a ticking sound from the trunk." The old man's facial expression changed. His eyes sharpened, his posture tensed. "Did you open it?" "Not yet." "Don't." Tommy was surprised. "Why not?" The old man began walking around the car. Very careful, very quiet. He put his ear near the trunk and listened. A few seconds later Tommy heard it too. Very faint but rhythmic ticking. "Get everyone out of the garage," the old man said in a calm but firm voice. "What, now?" "Everyone out." A cold feeling ran through Tommy's blood. "Is it? Just do it." Tommy ran to the other workers, shouting. Everyone out, now, emergency. Mike Murphy came running. What's going on? The old man says everyone needs to get out. Mike looked at the old man. He was still standing by the car, but now he looked very different. His posture was straight, movements precise, eyes completely focused. What's the problem? Mike asked. Possible explosive device in the trunk, the old man said. What? How do you? I know what I'm hearing. Get your people across the street. Mike didn't ask any more questions. The authority in the old man's voice was undeniable. Within 5 minutes the garage was evacuated. Everyone stood on the opposite sidewalk, watching what the old man would do. He pulled some tools from his toolbox, but these weren't normal mechanic tools. Small, precise instruments, things Tommy had never seen before. Should we call the police? Tommy asked. Not yet, the old man said. Let me see what we're dealing with first. He returned to the car. This time he moved very differently, every step calculated, every movement controlled. Tommy watched how he approached the trunk lock. Very slowly, very carefully, he opened the trunk. Inside were normal trunk items, but in one corner sat a small box. A box with a digital counter, connected with wires. Tommy's breath caught. This was a real bomb. The old man made a very careful examination around the box. He never touched it, just looked. Then he pulled a small flashlight from his pocket and examined the wires. Digital timer, he said to himself. Basic construction. Tommy heard him. How did this man know so much about bombs? The old man pulled other tools from his bag. This time Tommy understood what they were, bomb disposal equipment. Sir, Tommy called out, who are you? The old man turned around. For the first time, he was smiling. Retired EOD, he said. Explosive ordnance disposal. Tommy's world spun. EOD. This man was a bomb disposal expert. 25 years in the army. Defused more bombs than I can count. And now you're a mechanic. Retired. But bombs. Bombs I still remember. The old man, the EOD expert, returned to the bomb. His hands now showed no trembling at all. Very calm, very focused. He examined the wires, measured the timer, analyzed the structure. Basic pipe bomb, he said. Amateur construction. Probably gang-related. Can you defuse it? Already am. Tommy didn't understand what he meant. Then he looked. The old man was already starting to cut the wires. With very precise, very careful movements. First wire. Nothing happened. Second wire. The timer stopped. Done, the old man said. The bomb had been neutralized. Tommy was frozen. This man, this quiet, slow mechanic, had just defused a bomb. Professionally, calmly, as if he were repairing an engine. Sir, Tommy said, why didn't you tell us? The old man gathered his tools. Didn't need to. Until today. Mike Murphy came running. Is it safe? Bomb is defused. You should call the police now. Bomb. There was really a bomb. Pipe bomb. Amateur work. But dangerous enough. The police came, the FBI came. The old man explained the situation to them. Carlos Mendez was arrested. He had unknowingly used his car to transport a bomb. But everyone had the same question on their minds. Who was this old mechanic? Sergeant Major William Hayes, he said, showing his ID to the police. Retired Army EOD specialist. 25 years active duty, Iraq, Afghanistan, various classified operations. Tommy now understood everything. The man's careful work, his sensitive hands, his focus on every detail. It was all from EOD training. Why mechanics? Tommy asked. Hayes picked up his thermos coffee and took a sip. Engines and bombs. Both mechanical systems. Both need careful hands. But don't you miss the excitement? Hayes smiled. Son, after 25 years of defusing bombs, fixing cars is plenty exciting. The next day Hayes came at the same time again. Same coveralls, same coffee, same calm manner. As if nothing had happened. But now Tommy looked at him with different eyes. And so did everyone in the garage. Morning, Sergeant, Tommy said. Just Hayes is fine, the old man said. We're all mechanics here. They both smiled. The garage felt different that day. Same sounds, same smells, but there was a different energy. As if everyone felt a little safer. Hayes talked to Tommy during lunch. Really talked, for the first time. You know, Hayes said, in EOD we had a saying, initial success or total failure. No middle ground. What does that mean? Means you do it right the first time, or you don't get a second chance. Tommy nodded. Is that why you're so careful with the cars? Habit. Good habits keep you alive. Do you miss it, the army? Hayes thought for a while. I miss the team. I miss knowing that what I did mattered. but I don't miss the pressure. And now I fix things that make people's lives easier. Different kind of service. That afternoon Tommy watched Hayes work. Now he could see the training behind every movement. The system in how he approached every car, the precision in how he examined every part, the logic in how he solved every problem. This man wasn't an ordinary mechanic. He was someone who had done the world's most dangerous job for 25 years. And now he was quietly, humbly repairing cars on Chicago's South Side. A week later a small plaque was hung outside the garage. It was Mike Murphy's idea. Hayes, EOD veteran, we fix everything. Hayes saw the plaque, smiled, but said nothing. Tommy asked him, what do you think? I think, Hayes said, that some things don't need to be advertised. But people should know who you are. People who need to know. 2 weeks later the garage returned to its normal routine. Hayes was still the quietest worker, still working with the same care. But now customers treated him differently, especially veterans. One day an old Marine came in. He had a problem with his car, but when he met Hayes, he froze. EOD? He asked. Retired. Thank you for your service. Hayes nodded. Thank you for yours. Tommy watched this exchange. There was an understanding between these men that couldn't be explained with words. Hayes, Tommy said later, do you think you'll stay here long? As long as there are engines to fix and people who need help. And if another bomb shows up? Hayes smiled. Then I'll handle it. Just like that. Tommy now understood. Hayes wasn't just fixing cars. He was part of the community, protecting people, continuing to serve. In a different way, but with the same purpose. Sometimes the most ordinary-looking people are those with the most extraordinary backgrounds. Retired Army Sergeant Major William Hayes had appeared to be just a mechanic for 5 years. Nobody knew he had been neutralizing bombs for 25 years. Until that day when he was forced to show his true skills. Now I ask you, have you ever met someone like that? Someone who seemed ordinary but actually had incredible abilities? Share their names in the comments, tell their stories. At The Human Stories, we believe in keeping stories like this alive. If this story moved you, subscribe, share, and help these voices survive. We'll see you in the next one, and until then, if you see an old mechanic working quietly, look twice. Because he might just be the person with the most interesting story in your life.